I'll amend my motion to include those term limits on the mayor's appointments to the Park Advisory Board, pending background checks.
May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Bailey.
Aye.
Alderman Salmon.
Aye.
Alderman Dolan.
Aye.
Alderman Sykes.
Aye.
The volunteer,
Nominate Alderman Sykes.
I'll second that.
may I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Bailey.
Aye.
Alderman Salmon.
Aye.
Alderman Dolan.
Aye.
Alderman Sykes.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have the elected officials training conference, June 8th and 9th. Phone number registration is 150. Electronic materials, 145. Phone number virtual registration, 145. Last day to register is May 25th. And Alderman Sykes, I was looking at it as well. I'm not sure how many of those you need, or I need, because those are to save the city. Because we might be able to do like a class and not have to pay for the whole thing.
Perfect. I know I can take the class like for $10. There's a credit on the website that I can just purchase for $10 instead of taking the whole conference.
That's what.
For my Advanced Municipal Government Institute, it's $10 to buy the video seminar session from whenever they offered it last night. So there's a whole section on their website that actually it's $10, and it gives the city, all members of the Board of Aldermen, or anybody that's registered in the Advanced, or in the Municipal Government Institute, access to it. So the city actually holds 4 files, I believe. Not sure where those are currently, but we could probably find them. But you can purchase them individually for the specific credits you need for MGI and AMGI for $10 a piece, and share them versus paying for the entire conference.
Well,
Is there
and that's
something
the
you-
thing is, but if you're going for your MGI, they can't be shared. You have to pay individually to get the credits per MML. Now,
Maybe
like.
that's changed, because when I talked to MML a couple of years ago, I don't think it was that way, but maybe they have changed that now. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you're going for the actual credits,
Right, you have to purchase. yours.
otherwise, then yes, everybody in here could sit and watch it for one cost, they just wouldn't get the credits. There'd only be one credit given to one
Somebody,
individual.
I see, okay.
So that's why I was gonna bring up about the budget deal, instead of paying for that class yet, depending on which alderman, if they're wanting all of those credits, that's one thing. But like if Alderman Sykes has a class, you can get it for 10, if I have a class, I can get it for 10 versus having to pay the
Yeah, that's,
145 or 150.
Right.
I mean, it's budgeted for everybody to attend, so that's why we're just.
That's what I
making sure.
noticed when, in the packet, when it talked about the credits that were gonna be offered, I was like, I only need the, I mean, because I finished my MGI 2 years ago, and I'm in the
Yeah.
AMGI, there's only one credit that, like everything else I've already done, there's no reason to spend $145 in 2 days of time when I've already done them, so, I'll just do that, I'll just, get it through my MML membership or account on the website and do one for
Well,
us.
yeah, just whoever wants to, whatever you want to attend, just let Kim know.
Okay.
All of it, yeah, so.
And then, yeah, because that way, because I saw what was already in the expense report, so depending on if the aldermen want to or not want to do that class, that way that's an expense not.
We just thought that if they're, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build basically a Zoom online training room that you can shut off the rest of the world and come and take classes and whatever you need to do.
Right,
So, but if multiple people wanted to just, like, I don't need any of those credits necessarily so, I mean, if somebody's gonna watch it, I'll just
yeah,
watch
because
it with them.
you're not elected official, you can't get those.
No,
credits.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but they're good for me to attend, but I'll just, if somebody was gonna do it online, I would just, observe it, that's what I'm saying.
So if you're already doing it, then the one class would be there.
Yeah, we just
The
provide.
nice thing about doing it by the website, by purchasing each individual credit for $10 also, is it's at your convenience. They're always available, so you don't have to do it during those 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
You can choose any day of the week, any week, and go in and purchase it, and it's available immediately for you to watch.
Within most cities,
Yes.
just download it.
Yeah, and as long as you use your account, and when you make the purchase, then the credit automatically applies to your MGI or AMGI endeavor.
Attorney Lopez?
Nothing.
Administrator?
Couple things, real quick. Find my notes. I wanted to kind of give you an idea of who's coming and going, and that you guys all got that, I guess, if we're getting to know about some of the dates that are coming up, just to make you aware. Most next week, I'm at the city manager's meeting. We do have a planning and zoning meeting on the 8th, and then on the 9th, the Tremco, we have a pre-construction meeting for that. There's a public hearing before our meeting on the 15th that starts at 6. So you'll make sure that you probably won't be here an hour over that. We are going to do fun stuff at our meeting in July. So if you haven't signed up for your jersey, make sure you do that for me. The one thing is, a part of the taxes that the city is supposed to collect on utilities. We did receive a pretty nice check as part of a settlement from Spectrum. And so obviously that wasn't expected, it's not budgeted. We'll, at this point, upon the advice of the city attorney, we deposited that check into the general revenue fund. But the question is do we want to consider earmarking some of that money for something now? The budget has $500 for economic development, and obviously there's a lot the city could do in terms of improving properties that we already have and making some progress on.
I would absolutely love to
That's-
see
Having access and putting material to the road to have access to the airport, things like that, that would be, recommendations. So, but that's for you guys to decide. But again, it's not something we anticipated in our income, and it's not budgeted anywhere. So before it just haphazardly gets spent, I just thought maybe I might want to think about earmarking some of that, or a shortfall in the budget.
Move it to that 5.25 that you just missed out on. CD rate.
The partial raise, they wouldn't give it to me.
They wouldn't.
You want to speak?
I'll make a motion to move those monies into the economic development fund,
All of it, a portion of it?
all of it.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Have roll call,
I know
please.
we're probably going to feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but should we consider the shortfall in our budget for the park grant that's going to be due? I mean, playground equipment's gonna come in this year is what I'm being told. And we only budgeted $75,000 for our 123 that we owe left. I mean, I know but we can't use ARPA funds, so it's not an option. So should we consider some of that so that we don't have to take out a line of credit or do something else like that to make that grant happen? At this point, not doing it is going to really serve the city a very big disservice. So that's my only discussion.
How much is the shortfall?
We budgeted $75,000 for it this year with the anticipation of budgeting $75,000 for it next year. But then playground equipment is not as back ordered as we expected. So we're $75,000 short in the budget, roughly, because I know there's been some expenditures that have already come out and we plan on using in-kind donations for some of it. So that's, I mean, I would say maybe even $50,000, $40,000 would just help to prevent us from having to pull money elsewhere, since this is unexpected money. It's
I
just,
think all that information, especially financial information, needs to be in front of the administrators. We can see however, and maybe we just don't do anything with that money yet until we know, when we see everything in black and white, what's going on. Just my suggestion. I mean, I like
Just
that
put it
economic
in the
development
general.
thing, just
Mhm.
right now, time out until we can
Right.
see, but I think
Okay.
Administrator Noble needs to be caught up, and we all need to see what's happening with with this.
Yeah, he has the last form that we were given that breaks down everything. I believe it was in the packet the last meeting, wasn't it? Or was it just in between you and I that we had that email conversation that breaks down?
Dollar amount I saw was what was approved from the grant. Is that what you're talking
Right,
about? Yeah.
right, and I
Yeah,
think
don't
that
know
was
what
in the packet, wasn't that last
I haven't
time?
seen what the dollars on are really gonna cost us later.
And the only thing we have seen has been cross through. I have no idea what dollar amounts are what, I think.
Well, and at this point, it's gonna be, at this point, it's gonna be an estimate also, because we can say we're going to need X amount of dollars, but then for all of the community involvement, all of the manpower hours we do in-house, all of that's going to decrease that cost. So there's also, I mean, there's going to be some fluctuation, and I'm still waiting, we're still pending approval of any of the bids that we have in-house, so.
Who's all waiting on these bids?
Well, I mean, Administrator Lippert and Craig and I, they opened the bids, Administrator Lippert and Craig opened the bids, and then those bids were sent to the grant administrator, and we're waiting on their approval of which bid they feel is the best fit for the lowest bid.
Well, actually, the city clerk and the city building inspector.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was misinformed.
I didn't
apologize.
see anything.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the bid packets are still here at City Hall in the offices, for anybody that wants to see them, but at this point, it's like, we're just waiting on the grant administrator to tell us which one they approve.
And I'm hoping that our organization comes through with working on trying to fund the other half of that too. So I think there's multiple factors here before we make definite decisions where this
That's up to
money is
you.
going to.
Well, the only thing you could do, you could move it there so that it's not gonna be in the general fund, and then you could revisit that because it's not written in concrete. Am I correct in thinking that? I mean, you could-
I think it's wise to let the administrator formulate a plan on what to do with it. If he's going to the city managers meeting next week, he ought to ask some of the other city managers if they're holding this. It didn't come with a protest letter or anything like that, it was just here,
So there were others that got this, right, other cities. right?
Oh, everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody did, okay,
Yeah, this is
gotcha.
just- yeah.
So we're not so special, huh?
This is the portion that we would have collected
That's feeling real good back
in,
there.
under our municipal tax from utilities. That they protested and then we're paying it, so this is the settlement for what they owe us. But every other municipal, government that has a municipal tax from utilities is entitled to that.
That was like 172. 172,000.
So just because we
I will
were there
rescind
doesn't
my
have to stay.
motion. I will rescind
Do
my
I understand?
motion. And I don't mean any offense to Alderman Sykes, but, this is what I told you, is that everybody's gonna want their hand out on this money. And all the departments are gonna want their hand out on this money. And I told you that was gonna happen, and it's already started, but I will rescind my motion, and we will wait till you return from your vacation trip.
Yeah, it's not much of a vacation.
And you can tell us what you want to do then, or what you would like to do then.
Table it till next
It's
meeting.
up to you. I have an opinion where it needs to go, but, and I presented it.
Well, I know.
Okay. Either
So
send
we
it,
can do that.
send it. That's all I have.
Mr. Ivy,
Nothing at this time.
do you need to say anything for Chief?
Nope, nothing.
Mr.
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Beagle?
Hopefully, and I'm pretty sure that it's gonna happen, that next planning and zoning, we will approve the changes to the fence code and move it forward to the next Alderman meeting on the 15th. So we can vote on that.
Because there's quite a large agenda.
I'm sorry,
I think there's quite a large agenda there.
yes.
I had something, this has been a long meeting, I should have written it down. Any other board members have anything?
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I will not be here at the next meeting due to vacation plans that were scheduled before I was elected. so I won't be here on the 15th.
Okay, next public hearing too. Everybody else stay healthy. Any other board members? I don't have anything at this time. Anyone in the audience? State your name and address, please.
Joe Middleton, 909 Q Avenue. Cozy, could I please hear that list of appliance for the park board again?
Jack Durking, Connie Shelton, Paula Days, Andrew Saling, Kathy Bush Johnson, Megan Girardi, Billy Brown, Tim Davis, Ralph Lerman.
How many of those people live in the city limits? 1, 2, 4? Well, you tell me which of those 4 live in the city limits.
Connie Shelton, Andrew
Okay.
Saling, Kathy Bush Johnson, Megan Girardi.
So where Andrews lives is in the city limits down there on Commercial?
I thought he was in, I thought that's what we talked about.
It's our understanding, as I said.
I thought the city limits was right there past Archer Drive.
By the way, we did it like a foreign.
I don't even think it has that. The Our board was the one board that we decided that
We would allow the school district.
people who were within the general incentives.
Well, I understand that, but I don't think it's right to your city constituents to have more people outside the city limits on that board than live in it. I'm just voicing my opinion. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of like.
And I know how hard it is to get people.
It is, but the people that are involved in football, baseball, soccer, pickleball, all these sports, so we're supposed to tell them, sorry, you can't play unless you live in city limits.
No, I
So
understand.
that's why these organizations, this is the best way, because every time it comes to election for anything, people get upset because they are not a city residents. This is a way we can include people to be involved. That was the best way we could see to get people in the school district involved.
Now, I will say one thing tonight. Charlene was right. These positions need to be advertised to the citizens in this town. Because all I saw here tonight was the Good Old Boys Network at it again.
Thank you. Anyone else? Next scheduled meeting is, we'll have a public hearing for fence, short-term rentals, preliminary plat, and voluntary annexation public hearing on May 15th at 6 p.m. And then our regular meeting at 7 p.m. following.